It's a pleasure. Uh, yes, I see you now. So really, it's a pleasure to see you since a long time. I remember the first time I met you, it was in 2014 for the first album. Uh, you came in Paris for promotion, of course, and it was really a pleasure to meet you this first time. So now you back with a new album. You did many things since all these years, but the last thing is that you did. You have this opportunity to play live just before every the lockdown and everything. It was in January and February with your friends Amorphal. I remember that the first tour you did, you play also with Amorphal. So it's a great love story with Amorphal. How was the tour? This
Yeah, well, the tour was really cool. It was really cool. We played each day in front of a full packed venue, European Wild, and um, it was great, to be on tour. And, yeah, well, when we were done with the tour, right, we had 4 days, and after that, yeah, the lockdown started everywhere, and well, since this time we not entered the stage, but I think we come soon back, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I hope too for everybody. So when you play so many shows, are there some shows that are more give more an impact on you? I mean, some shows that you never forget for a reason or another one. I don't know for the public for what happened in the show.
Well, you mean actually what I have on remembrance, right? On
Yes, on
shows.
the tour, is there a show that you never forget?
Well, I think a very good thing was Prague, for example. This was an overwhelming venue, the forum. Also Munich. It was great. To play there fully packed, and yeah, that's awesome. Sports arena in Hamburg. It was really fucking nice. Or the Oberhausen Turbinenhalle. It was also pretty nice, and really cool. And yeah, well, I really miss to be on the stage, right? To be on the road.
Mhm.
So it's time to start again somehow, right?
When you are on stage with the band, what do you try to give to the public to transfer to the public? Do you what is for you the best communication with the public?
Well, I think for me, it doesn't matter if there are 20 people in front of the stage, or 20,000 or 50,000 or something like this. I don't care. I give the best from my side. I want to leave the stage sweaty as fuck, and yeah, well, I just want to rock, and I want to give the crowd the best concert and best performance I can do, right?
Mhm. It was so you come back finally 2 years after with this new album. It's called Vengeance Is Mine. How was the writing process? Was it different from the other? There are a lot of things who happen on this album. I see, I read. How was the process of writing? How do you work this time?
This time the writing process was really crazy and strange somehow, because actually we are sitting together right in the studio. Um, we are um, we are working and writing on the song in real time, right? And we started this time when we started to write the music. It was a bit strange, right? We had a Skype communication like this, or a Zoom, and well, it was really strange, right? To work not in real time. You had an idea, and then you had to wait till sorry. Um, Well, you had the idea, right, and then you had to wait till the other party, has to make the ideas. Then you get a beat transfer. Then you're listening to it. In the beginning it was really strange, but in the end it worked out perfectly. So the routine, the routine was coming in, and yeah, well, it was a lot of fun this time as well.
It was so you choose to you record the album in Munich, in your town, in your studio, the Sirius Black studio. You produce and you mix the album. Was it a huge job for you to do everything finally, to be part of the band and to be the producer, to do the mixing? I suppose it was a huge works for you. How was it?
Well, since the beginning, I'm doing the recordings on our albums, and of course, then I wanted always to have, a distance between the recordings and the mix and stuff like this. And that's why Jan was mixing it, the first two albums, right? The third, like with me, and on the fourth, on the Sweet 226, I had just 3 or 4 days for mixing, because Urban delivered very late, 6 weeks after the third deadline from the record company. And well, this was really hard. But here, I think I did a very good job. It sounds a little bit in another way like the usual productions of heavy metal bands somehow, right? The drums are much bigger with much room, and the raw guitars and bass and stuff like this. But I think it was working out in a very good way, And for me, it's not. It's positive stress, to be.
Uh-huh.
To be a member, and then I can split it. The both parts I can split incomplete, and that's a very good thing.
To record this album, finally, was it a challenge for you to work on this album compared to the other album? Is there many differences? Are there many differences between the recording this time?
Yeah, well, of course it was a difference. And here we are starting to tell a story, because it has a reason why the album, or this album is called or named "Vengeance Is Mine." We we started to write, and it was from time to time it started to be more complicated to work with Urban. Was coming up with stuff that I don't sing this song, I don't, on the previous album, the Sweet 226, I don't want to sing this song, and if you cut here on my song something, then you have to write a new one and stuff like this. It was something like a fuck off attitude, what he started, and also on the tour it was very difficult. He was not showing up to the sound check because, I don't know if he was in the mood for it or whatever. Later, after he left, people told us that he said, okay, why should I go to the sound check? Because my band is anyway too stupid to play their instruments, stuff like this, and on this time, it was really crazy actually, because we started to write, and were doing the songwriting, and Urban was not jumping in the process, right? And he just wrote me, for example, well, you are still going fishing, for example, right? And I said yes, and then he disappeared, and suddenly it was 3 days or 4 days, something like this, before he left. He wrote some crew members and the band in a Facebook chat, that he wants to excuse himself the behavior of the past years, you know, and yeah, well, he hopes that everybody's reading it and we can forgive him and stuff like this. It was not right, and that everybody is reading it, right? And we were really surprised in a positive way, right? But we don't reply immediately. And well, it was crazy because we were talking between us, and it felt a little bit strange because why he uses an old, very, very fucking old chat with the crew inside and stuff like this. And yeah, well, yeah, like I said, we don't reply immediately. So 3 days later, or something like this, at 10:30, suddenly our mobiles were ringing all the time. Bing, 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 bing. So we checked it out, and magazines were writing us, and they said, what's happening on your side? You know, you're during the pre-production and stuff like this. And Urban left the band. So we were really shocked because there was no talk and nothing, right? So we were calling the record company, and we told them, did you know something about it? The record company was also flashed and said, no, we don't know anything about it, right? So, and they think it's really strange. Let's check out what he posted. So we went, we were clicking on his profile, and now it's coming the crazy thing. He twisted around all his excuses, what he gave to us. He twisted around and said, we fucked him up. We destroyed his songs and stuff like this, you know. This is a absolute, right?
So it was a very, very strange, a very difficult situation with your band to work like that.
Yeah, of course, it was a really strange situation because you're during the songwriting, right? And suddenly your singer jumps out of of everything, and you have to search a guy and to search a singer. You know, it has not only to fit with the vocals; it has to fit with the human attitude. You know, it has to work with the working flow. It has to work with the person himself, you know, and so you don't have a chance that you say, okay, let's do this album now, and on the next album, the next singer is coming, right? And yeah, well, this was really heavy for us actually, and yeah, well, but finally we met. Nikola, and it was really great to work with him, and well, it sounded perfectly. Right, so I was pretty sure that this album is going to be a good one, a very good one.
Yes, Nikola is a great singer. When I hear the album, it was he sings in many bands. He don't curse, and some bands in his country, and since a long time now. Was it easy finally? Was it an opportunity to get Nikola, or do you need a lot of singer? Do you do a lot of audition? Do you have a lot of people who came to sing in who want to sing in the band?
Well, you know, this was a great thing because after Urban jumped out, you know, on the next day we already get some offers by email from singers all around the world. And, we sent them out one track, you know, and yeah, it was Rock With Us Tonight. You know, this was already done this time. Yeah, well, we received a lot of good demos, very good demos, you know, but it was missing the wow, actually, the wow effect. You know what I mean? It was really good, but it was like, no. You know, something, a small part was missing, right? And then we had a call again with the record company, and yeah, well, Sydney told us he's working on AFM that Eden's curse stopped somehow, and well, if Nikola would be an opportunity for us, and yeah, well, this moment I immediately contacted him, and I wrote with Nikola a little bit, you know, also Facebook Messenger, and he said, "Yeah, send me the stuff over, and I check out what I can do, right?" And yeah, well, then it was 3 weeks, nothing. I don't heard or yeah, wrote with Nikola. So we thought, okay, we have to move forward, to make everything in a very good way. And of course, we need to search a singer, but probably Nikola is not interested. So 3 weeks later, suddenly at 2 o'clock in the evening, the Facebook Messenger was doing ping, and it was during the night, and it was Nikola, and I pressed play, and it was awesome, because he wrote me. I had no time to make something, so I recorded just one chorus, one verse, and one bridge, and I hope you like it. I pressed play, and it was wow, fantastic. So and that was coming my revenge to Nikola. I called him at 2:30 in the morning, when we talked till 4 o'clock. So this was my revenge actually, to call him during the night. And yeah, well, and then it was crystal clear that we want to work with him and to make everything in a proper way.
It about finally what has been the implication of Nikola in the writing? Did he write some text, some lyrics, or everything was done before?
It was everything. It was everything done before. We were working on the album. So everything was nearly done. Except the second voices, the choirs and stuff like this. And this is all done by Nikola, but the lyrics were done at this point when he jumped in. But of course, Nikola is doing that in a great way, and it's actually really funny. Because he has nothing to do with the vengeance is mine, So, but he's standing in the vocal cabin, and he's singing, "Yeah, tonight I'm ready to fight," like he's part of us, you know what I mean? And he puts the complete feelings, and gives the soul inside the songs, right? And this is very impressive that he can act like this. This is really, really, really fucking.
So I suppose it's you who write all the lyrics, in fact, or?
No. I wrote this time a lot, really a lot. And this was also a story from the past, because I met 4 years ago a girl, a person, and let's call a person, and I felt in love, of course, and I helped her out, from the drugs, so she was taking drugs every day, I was the one who take care about her, and not her family, not her parents or whatever, it was only me, and I put it all my private time and my private interest in the back, to save his life. Actually, I fixed it finally, and I gave her a kind of a new life, I built her for her hairdresser studio, I was there for her in every way. I was paying the food, the drinks, the holidays, the flights and stuff like this, because I said, if you go to be self-employed, right, then you need your money. That's why I was taking care about this all, And for this, I don't receive a thank you or something like this. For this, I received strange situations over years, that, for example, in the night, they were calling other men, they wanted to have fun with her. And I said, probably I should just say, "Hey, you have a boyfriend?" And she said, "No, why I should tell them this? It's not interested in if I have a boyfriend or whatever, And for I was laying childless beside her, right? And for this, I get the fight, you know, over 2 hours. It was also not allowed for me to give her my hand on the Christmas market, for example, because somebody could probably see us, right? And I asked her, why you are behaving like this, you know? Is it because I'm not 1 meter 90 tall? I don't have a six-pack. I'm a tattooed guy. I'm a long hair guy. I'm a successful rock musician or whatever, you know, that I'm older than you and stuff like this. And she said, probably a little bit of everything, you know? So, and also with this, yeah, also with the, with these happenings, I stayed behind her, right? And then it was coming to the point, she was laying one day before she left on my chest, and she said, you're the best, what happened to me in my whole life, and I never want to leave you alone or to leave you anymore, right? And 12 hours, she left with the words, I don't care what you have done for me, and I have not done for you. And if I say from today on, you're a fucking bastard, then you have to live with this. Oh. You know, and this was actually a really, really hard story, you know. And yeah, well, yeah, that was the reason why I wrote Vengeance is Mine. Because, you know, I don't deserve it. When somebody helps other person out of the deepest shit, you know, then there should be a little bit of respect, right?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Telling around lies that she's the guilty, that I'm the guilty person because she wants to save her face, right? And that's the point.
Yeah, it's finally this album is very personal album with the title tracks, with the text. Well, what you just tell me is very, very personal.
Yeah, well, of course, it's very personal. And 23 years ago, you know, I swore to myself that I never mix up my musical career or my music industry with my private life, you know. But this album, I had no other chance because if I would not do it, I would go crazy. You know, it was, yeah, I think you know the movie Forrest Gump, right? The guy who was running all the time, right? And on me it was like this, that I was not running. I was writing, because it was really like a medicine, you know, to not to go too insane, because leaving from one day till the other, and you have absolutely no clue what you have done, because I was right, right? And that's the point. That well, she said also that I'm right, but it's too much for her to get then later the shit, you know, that I'm a kind of a guilty guy and whatever, you know. And this is yeah, well, this is really, it's going deep in the soul, and deep in the heart, you know. And well, but c'est la vie.
Yes, but finally, after writing, is it a sort of therapy? Finally, after writing all that, do you feel better, and do you feel good for all what happened in your life?
Well, I don't know if I feel good, you know, to make interviews like this, you know, to talk about private life, what happened to you, you know, with the disrespect what you get with all the shit, you know. I think that's not fun. That's nothing where I can proud on, or there is nothing where I can say, yeah, it's a good thing. But anyway, you know, for me in the mind, nothing happens without a reason, right? And these are songs which are written by life, right? Well, I think I could be really happy to make this album, because without these happenings and without the stories and stuff like this what were coming up, right? This would not exist in this way, right? So the fans could be actually really happy, and for me, I think it's also important that I'm healthy. I have a healthy daughter and a healthy family, actually, and I think it's the most important thing in life, right?
Yes, because when we listen to the album, in fact, there is a we feel really in the music and in the text. Of course, there is an authenticity. You know, it's really it takes you. There are some great songs like the story. The first single was a ballad, great ballad. Was really there is a special thing that you feel something special, very how did you say, strong when you receive the song. Is there something that you feel when you record these songs too?
Well, I was feeling, of course, you know, this. I was complete in the mood. You know, I was when I was recording the songs and writing the songs and working on the songs. You know, I was not sleeping much. Right, I looked like, right, with uh, eye rings and yeah, whatever. I was really tired, but it helped, you know, to stay awake and writing, composing and whatever, you know. And yeah, well, but the story, for example, you know, it's of course it's a cover song, but we interpreted it in a very other way, you know, like it's written actually with yeah, you know, but it's fitting completely. This song was fitting completely to my story, to our story. You know what I mean? That's why we recorded it. It was impressive that when I listened the first time to the recordings, then when everything was there, like keyboards, orchestration, and stuff like this, you know, there were crazy big emotional feelings, of course.
There is a yes, there is a lot of orchestration. You call a singer. It's called Anna Likunik from Belgrade to work with you. Was it important to about the orchestration to do these huge parts of orchestration also?
Well, I think this much orchestration we don't have. You know, we have just it on a few songs. You know? But because keyboards were played by Bob anyway, but and the orchestration was written also by Bob. But of course, that Anna and Evera and Sirian and stuff like this, um, they were recording the choirs, you know, and because sometimes they are really really fucking high. Yeah, well, it was. I had a feeling that it's necessary to ask them, right? And they did it, and I think in the mix, it's perfect, you know. So I think it's necessary, right?
Yes, it was how finally Nikola did to sing some very powerful and very text like that. Was it did he think to be in some special mood to sing this kind of text?
No, this was the point where I was really impressed about it. You know, Nikola, he just wanted to have the story about the songs, you know, in front of the recordings, and then this was fitting like bam. It was perfect. That's why I told you before. Nikola is standing in the vocal cabin and he gives the best. He puts the heart inside and the soul inside, and that's why the music and the vocals and stuff like this, they are fitting perfectly together.
Just to finish, a little question about the mastering, because yeah, I was surprised that there is two mastering finally, one with Mika Jusila, you work since a long time with him, and one from qu'on, Fisher. What do you try to get with two mastering?
Well, everybody's putting the master actually really, really hard. That you have a brutal loudness, but with the brutal loudness, you are missing you are losing the dynamics. In a song. You know what I mean? And I wanted to keep the dynamics into the production, right? So we did first the mastering on Mika, because this is perfect what Mika is doing. He's keeping the dynamics of the solos, of the low parts and stuff like this. And then we organized Consti to put this dynamic master on the loud level. You know what I mean? So we had two mastering to keep the dynamics and to have the loudness. And this is actually a really good thing. I will do it on the next album as well.
So thank you very much. Last question: what are you proud on this album? What proud are you about this album? What do you feel about this new album?
Well, for me, like I said, it's a very, very, very special one. It's a private one. I don't know if, and it's. I think we are not reached the zenith already, right? The top. I don't think so, because we have, or I have also so many ideas and stuff like this. So I think we don't reach it, but it's a very personal album, and I think we are on the right way back. We started as power metal band, then we were drifting a little bit to a rock melodic band, and now we are complete in the power metal back, and it makes so much fun, and all the songwriting process, and even if there are sad stories on it, or sad stories packed in happy melodies and in hymns, but yeah, well, it melted the band together like one unit, right? And like more than ever before, So I'm really happy about this, and I can't wait to enter the stage to present this album in a very good way, and let's see.
So Mario, really, thank you for your sincerity. Thank you for all what you said in this interview. So it was really interesting to understand from where came this album, because we have understand that it was really a personal album. And thank you for the interview too. Thank you really much, and hope to see you in Paris.
Well, actually, one date was planned in Paris, but the club don't existing anymore, So yeah, well, but we are looking forward. We are planning already to play in France, and I hope, Pascal, to see you and your readers, and to rock together. And I'm really looking forward to it.
Thank you. Have a nice Saturday. Thank you very much.
Take care. Thanks a lot for the interview, and see you soon. And
thank you. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao, ciao.